Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new day of Road to TCG Worlds 2018. Now I'm sorry that last week we only had videos, I believe, Monday, Tuesday and perhaps Wednesday, but we'll try to be more more strict during November. Now today is the 30th of October, so we still have a couple of days, but I will try my best to have a daily video for you guys in November. Daily meaning Monday through Friday, right? And I will definitely be streaming a lot more. So today, if you guys are watching in the morning, today there will be a stream. I will be trying to stream in the mornings because my afternoons are usually occupied with a couple of coaching lessons. So yeah, I'll try to stream in the mornings, and then the videos or whatever I stream, you guys will get to see it on the channel a day or two afterwards, and that way we make sure we have videos daily for the channel. So today we're going to talk about, or we're going to showcase a deck that's been receiving a lot of hype lately. A lot of the top players have been using it to great success at League Cups. I unfortunately didn't have any more League Cups to go to, so I only got 25 points from League Cups this quarter, which is actually pretty bad, I would say. But hey, I guess I really need to pick it up at the local events because we've been doing well at regionals, but not too well at League Cups. I only played 2 though, so that also didn't help my case. One I couldn't go to because of the earthquake that hit Mexico City last month, and then the other one just got scheduled over a regionals weekend, and I went to Vancouver instead of going to a League Cup, which ended up working out pretty well, I would say. So today's deck is based on Ninetales-GX, Alolan Ninetales-GX, 210 HP, Ice Blade, you get to deal 50 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon, and then Blizzard Edge, which is the main attack for the deck, deals 160 damage, and you discard 2 energy from this Pokemon. Then you get Ice Path GX, which moves all damage from Ninetales onto the opponent's Pokemon. So pretty good card. The Metal Weakness doesn't do it any favors. However, Metagross seems to be in a weird spot in the metagame where it's kind of good but also kind of bad. So I wouldn't be too worried about it. You really can't beat everything, so it's okay to have Metagross as a bad matchup. And then we also have this Alolan Ninetales with 110 HP, the non-GX version, which does have Luminous Barrier, which does not let it get damaged or affected by effects of attacks from Pokemon's GX, from opponent's Pokemon GX or Pokemon EX. So pretty decent card overall. You can create some unwinnable conditions for your opponent with it, and you get to use Aurora Beam for 80 damage, which is a very, very nice attack, especially because with the Choice Band you're dealing up to 110 damage, and that's almost enough to 1-hit or to 2-hit KO pretty much everything out there. Now we are combining Alolan Ninetales with Zoroark-GX, 210 HP, pretty decent ability with trade. You get to discard 1 card from your hand in order to draw 2 cards. This combines well with Aqua Patch. It gives you another way to discard water energy and get them back, relatively easy. And you have Righteous Beating, which deals 20 damage times the number of Pokemon you have yourself in play, so up to 120 or 150 with a Choice Band. A 2-2 line of that, and then we have the Devolution package with 2 Tapu Lele dealing Flying Flip, 20 damage to each of your opponent's Pokemon, and then we have Espeon-EX in order to devolve whatever it is that's causing us trouble. So Tapu Lele serves 2 functions here. We can either spread damage and devolve, or along with Ninetales as first attack, which deals 50 to any Pokemon, or we can simply soften things up with Tapu Lele, and then with Ninetales or Zoroark we can finish them off. Now only 2 Tapu Lele in the deck along with 1 Brigette. That's the one thing I'm not a huge fan of, especially because I've grown accustomed to running 3 Tapu Lele, 2 Brigette, and for Ultra Ball, which is essentially 9 cards that give you Brigette on turn 1, whereas with only 7 there's definitely less of a chance that you get the Brigette early on. For supporters, we're using 4 Sycamore 4N for Guzma, super consistent right there, and then we're also using 3 Professor Kukui, The Professor Kukui at 20 damage, which can be very crucial, especially after a couple of turns of spreading with Tapu Koko. And it also gives Zoroark-GX the possibility to get a one-hit KO on different things with its first attack, or more specifically Tapu Lele. So pretty good card. Professor Kukui definitely, without Via Seekers, seemed pretty underwhelming, but running 3 copies of it does mean that you'll likely be able to pull off 1 or even 2 crucial Professor Kukuis, so that seems worth it. And you also get the benefit that by using trade from Zoroark-GX, you are actually able to thin out your deck pretty nicely, and you're also drawing those extra cards that Professor Kukui doesn't necessarily give you, but you do get the 20 extra damage benefits. Then in terms of item cards, we have 4 Ultra Ball, 4 Aqua Patch, 4 Choice Band, 2 Field Blower, and a single Rescue Stretcher. And finally for energy, we have 4 double Colorless and 8 basic water energy. So that's the deck. Now let's jump into the ladder and see if we can get a win streak going here. So we immediately find an opponent, Get Red, who probably is using the same deck based on the previous screen. So as you can see, this deck is getting a lot of hype, a lot of hype, and yeah, pretty good start, honestly, pretty good start. Now the question is, do we lead off with Zorua? Do we lead off with Vulpix? I'm gonna say Zorua, and then have the Vulpix on the bench. And then since this is probably a mirror match, we probably will gain a lot by just aggressively going with Zoroark on whatever is in front, which is a Vulpix. So how do we do this? Do I Ultra Ball for another Lele, or no, I'm gonna Ultra Ball away the water and the other Ultra Ball. I'm gonna find a Koko or another Vulpix rather, I think. Maybe Koko. I probably do want to spread damage at some point, so that I don't rely 100% on Professor Kukui. So yeah, I'll go with Vulpix for now. I'll bench it attached to the active. I will Aqua Patch. Obviously, attaching water energy to the Zorua is not ideal. However, in this case, I think it's fine. And yeah, definitely don't want to Brigette here. Just gonna Sycamore. Lily would have been preferred as we got an extra card, but Sycamore is just as good. No Tapu Koko, no Zoroark-GX. We have to pass off of the Sycamore. However, we have an okay hand for the next turn. We see a turn 1 Lele for our opponent. Might see an N, might see a Brigette. We do see the Brigette. So it'll be interesting to see if he immediately goes for the Koko to start spreading. But no, my opponent not only matches my setup, but he also gets the extra Zorua going. And he's focusing more on Zoroark. I mean, he has to contemplate that he will lose the Vulpix this next turn, or it's very likely that he will. However, perhaps with only 2 Ultra Ball left in the deck and 2 Zoroark-GX available, maybe the odds of that happening are not that high. My opponent goes for double Ninetales, interestingly enough. So I guess either he wants to have the options available to him, or he simply just doesn't really care that much that one of the Vulpix is going down, or doesn't realize it. Gonna play the Choice Band on the active. Kind of want to bench the Espeon. I do regret not going for the Koko, because this turn I could have definitely very easily spread damage around with Tapu Koko instead of going for the aggressive route. Oh boy. Not a fan of discarding the choice band, but I think it's more valuable to... The choice band is probably more valuable than... I mean, the DCs are more valuable than choice bands. So there we go. Definitely won't be using trade this turn. I will just Righteous Beating, take the knockout. Just barely, and we get a Sycamore. So not an ideal situation. We see the Vulpix promoted. We see an Ultra Ball for a Zoroark-GX. So this will definitely be the non-GX Alolan Vulpix, Alolan Ninetales, sorry. So that could be a little bit problematic to deal with for sure. We will need our own Alolan Ninetales in order to answer his. So we might simply end up losing the TC anyways. And there's another Ultra Ball, probably grabbing, yep, Lele for Sycamore this time around. And would have been preferred, but hey. Now we do have enough Guzmas that we don't necessarily have to deal with the Ninetales, but we most likely will have to at some point. This is where I would love to have a Tapu Koko promo. I would just absolutely love that. Professor Kukui is not. Tapu Koko I want. I can also start spreading damage onto the bench with Ninetales, however. So perhaps that's what I ought to do. I'm just not convinced, honestly. I don't think discarding all of these resources is good enough to win the game. So I'm gonna trade my Sycamore. Hopefully I don't regret this. Okay, so we actually managed to find a Brigette, which I like. I'll find Koko and Zorua, and then we will be able to retreat onto Koko, and we will be able to start spreading damage, which is exactly what I hope to do. 2 turns of spread will be very good for us, I believe. Very, very good in terms of putting everything in range of Ninetales or Zoroark. Losing the 2 water is not that big a deal. We still have 3 Aqua Patch left and 5 more water energy. And then that Ninetales will never be able to one-hit kill my Tapu Koko, so we are pretty much guaranteed another turn of spreading at the very least. With the Guzma, we could even potentially be able to spread another couple of turns. We're definitely spreading 1 more turn. Question is, can we spread 2 more turns? That would be ideal, because then that would set up Espeon pretty nicely. We can simply just focus on that. Just grabbing another Koko somehow, because we don't have any more Ultra Balls or Brigette. Oh, is he really just going to outright retreat and take the knockout here? Can't believe he got DC Aqua Patch off of a 6 card end though. That's pretty crazy good for him. Wow. That is actually insane that my opponent just pulled this off. This is actually brutal that he just pulled this off. Wow. That's insane. It's actually insane how he pulled this off. I'll trade the end first. It's always better to use trade before drawing any cards. Okay, good. There's a Koko. That's pretty lucky. That is actually pretty lucky. So, in theory, if I promote a Lele, he would need another Aqua Patch and an energy in order to knock out my Koko this turn. So this should should be enough to set up the Espeon-EX multi-knockout later on. Like Espeon-EX would get us 4 prizes. So then we would just need to knock out 1 Lele on the bench in order to win the match. So that's pretty good. There's a Aqua Patch. Oh, okay. Decides to attach onto this Ninetales, interestingly enough. And my opponent goes for Sycamore. So if he retreats and deals 80 to my Koko, that is perfectly fine. Maybe he can save this Ninetales by using Ice Path GX once. However, should be able to Espeon-EX evolve the rest of the Pokemon. And with Professor Kukui, we can actually deal 210 damage to get 1-hit KOs on this Ninetales. So yeah, Tapu Koko being pretty crucial here. Pretty crucial. There's a trade for my opponent. Discards his own Tapu Koko, so he's not going for this spreading strategy. And yeah, I mean, we know the Espeon-EX is in the deck because we had it in our hand previously. We cannot bench it just yet. It also won't evolve this Ninetales. However, we've set up our own Ninetales to ensure, okay, that our Ninetales would be able to get rid of his. This is still pretty okay, I think. Okay, so I will trade 1 water energy, that seems fine. And I will find a Field Blower and simply more water energy. So I have the option to retreat and take a knockout here on this Ninetales, or I can spread once more. No, actually I can't take a knockout on this Ninetales. I actually cannot take a knockout on this Ninetales. This seems fine though, because with a knockout on this Ninetales and then a knockout on another Ninetales or a Lele or a Zoroark, we win the match. So even if our opponent knocks out the Vulpix, the damage we have already laid out should be more than enough to win us the match. In theory, right? We've only used 1 Guzma, we have access to 3 more. And so as long as Zoroark keeps finding us extra cards, we should be good. My opponent benches a Lele. Is he gonna go for an N? Is he gonna go for a Guzma? He goes for a Guzma. That seems okay. He can knock out my Zoroark-GX, which is perfectly fine. I think that this is even better for me, instead of him taking a knockout on the Vulpix. I really don't mind at all that he's gonna knock out the Zoroark-GX here. Because we're 2 Guzmas away from winning the match, and we already have a Guzma. So we're definitely taking a knockout next turn. And then all we need is an extra Guzma, and we have Lele and 2 more Guzmas in the deck. So there's the Aurora Beam. We also save this Vulpix, so potentially as well, which is really nice. My opponent says hello for whatever reason. I actually think it's better to evolve into this Ninetales now at this point. Oh, but we don't have any more ways to draw, so I'm just gonna take a knockout on his Alolan Ninetales, which is the only Pokemon that has energy or has any potential to become a threat. I'll remove his Choice Band, and then I'm just gonna Blizzard Edge for the knockout here. Get our extra 2 prize cards, and we're looking for 1 Guzma to win the match. Kukui is not Guzma. Kukui could also just let us get rid of this Alolan Ninetales. Since we just need 2 more attacks with Kukui, and he would need 2 attacks to knock out our Koko, so we're actually pretty okay here. You're pretty okay. Here's a DC on Lele. Choice band, another choice band on the Alolan Ninetales. And we see an N, of course. So that makes sense. However, we can't simply Ice Path to stall here. And with the Guzma, we just need one energy to win the match now. All we need is one energy to potentially win this match. So there's the 110. There's the energy. So pretty lucky right here to get all of these cards off of the N. I would argue we were a little bit unlucky to... Oh, we actually only needed the Guzma. Yeah, because we spread so much damage. So yeah, there we go. Pretty lucky draw, I guess. But hey, we'll take it. We still had a few outs in our deck, and we still had Sycamores and Ends and Lele. So yeah, pretty straightforward game. We adopted, I believe, a better strategy against our opponent's deck. He had Alolan Ninetales, and that's what he tried to do in this mirror match. However, we had our own Alolan Ninetales and Tapu Koko to respond to that, so I believe our strategy was simply that much more effective. So yeah, this will be all from the video today, guys. Tomorrow should be a longer video, as I will upload the part of whatever deck I do stream later on. It'll be, I usually play more games and whatnot, so tomorrow should be a longer video. But don't forget to leave a like. Thank you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye bye.